Hello and welcome to another Fyne tutorial. We're going to be looking this time at using Goroutines and how that's changed since the release of version 2.6.0. We'll start with a simple Hello World application. As you can see here, I've set up a label that says Hello World and I'm putting it in a vertical box container alongside a button that says Tap Me. So if we just run that in our new terminal, go run, we can see that the window pops up, it says Hello World and it allows me to tap the button. When I tap, it says tapped. Excellent. What you don't see behind the scenes is that there's a lot happening between event management, window coordination and the code being executed that can interact in complex ways. In version 2.6.0, the Fyne team updated how the internal system works to be much more efficient, much safer, and that has a little impact on applications that are going to be working with Goroutines. The reason I started by using a simple example like this with a button is to show that the standard widgets and the callbacks in the toolkit are not impacted in any way that will require you to change your application. This transition has been done transparently behind the scenes. However, if your application includes Goroutines, you're adding an execution thread that's outside of the Fyne ecosystem, and so we have to do a little bit more work to include this in the new model for the performance and the safety that I mentioned. We'll update this Hello World application to be a clock instead. So instead of Hello World, I'll use the time package to display the current time and just the time only. We don't need any of the extra content this time. We'll just display that label. However, there's an extra piece of functionality that I need to add to tick that clock. So here we start our Go routine, and this is going to iterate or range over a ticker. A new ticker that ticks every second. And so now we have a for loop that's going to call every single second. And here I could say out.setText and format in the same way that we did initially. I'll save that file, the warnings go away, and we have a piece of code that's going to update the screen every second. Now if I try and run that, we'll see that there's a warning since the new version of Fyne. It's working, but you can see this error is printed out. It's noticed that we haven't made the change. We should be including a new Fyne.do or Fyne.do and wait. And so that is simply put inside here, Fyne.do, and we pass it a function and move our code into that function. We include the v2 Fyne import to get that there. You'll see I've just wrapped it around a single line and not over the range. This is really important because we only want the code that we are executing that includes Fyne to be passed into Fyne.do, because this is going to have to be queued, executed, and then the process will continue. If we made Fyne.do and put the for range inside it, then nothing else would happen because that would be holding the execution. So much like when you're calling refresh on an object, Fyne.do should be used on the smallest scope possible so that you minimize any impact on the runtime of the application. That sounds complicated, but it's really not. Just wrap your graphical calls in Fyne.do and you'll see that the application runs exactly as you would expect.